Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucimus Prime here. So it's time for the next episode of my series of Old is Better Than New. And in today's video, I thought I'd this time cover another example of an animated movie company where, in my opinion, their old films are much better than new. In my opinion, this company was at its peak with making films since it first started with its first film in 1995 until I'd probably say around maybe 2010, something like that really. In the 2010s decade, in my opinion, the company was hit or miss with its films. Then sadly, I feel like from 2022 onwards, it really has gone downhill a lot. And that's why I'd say old is better than new when it comes to it. And this is one of my favourite animated movie companies of all time. And this company also made my favourite animated movie of all time. And this company, of course, is none other than Pixar. So, now when it comes, of course, to my experience as a fan of Pixar's films, I definitely really loved, of course, their start in 1995 because they started off really strongly with Toy Story, which is definitely, in my opinion, a very groundbreaking, revolutionary film for movies in general. Not just animation, but movies in general. Because it was definitely, in my opinion, amazing. Definitely an amazing start to Pixar when it comes to films by creating a very iconic franchise to start off with. Then after that, we got, of course, a film called A Bug's Life in 1998. Which was good, in my opinion. The character Flick was likeable, and it was a good film. But in my opinion, nowhere near as great as Toy Story, but still, in my opinion, good. Then we got Toy Story 2 released in 1999, the year I was born. Then of course, 2 years later, in 2001, we got another one of our favourites, which was Monsters, Inc. Definitely another amazing franchise created by Pixar, absolutely. Then 2 years later, we got another masterpiece, which was Finding Nemo. Amazing film right there. Then a year later, we also got The Incredibles, which was also phenomenal as well. Like the other masterpieces I've talked about, love The Incredibles. Definitely an incredible movie. Then 2 years later, we got Cars. Now, I will say that in my opinion, when it comes to a Cars franchise, I personally only like this first movie. In my opinion, it's for all I want on films that's good. I am personally not a fan of what came next for Cars, and I'll get to that, of course, when we talk about 2010's decade. Then a year later, in 2007, we got Ratatouille, which was also a great movie as well. Definitely love Ratatouille. Definitely would recommend to you, of course, if you want to get hungry, because that film definitely makes you hungry. Then a year later, we got another one of my all-time favourites in the company, which was WALL-E. A film that I was obsessed with when I was a kid, and I used to collect all the figures and merchandise for when I was younger. I love WALL-E. Then a year later, we got another one of my all-time favourites being the absolute masterpiece, which is Up. A beautiful movie, in my opinion, very emotional as well. Just an absolute masterpiece, Up is. And when it comes, of course, to my all-time favourite Pixar film, it's one, of course, released in 2010, which is Toy Story 3. I absolutely adore Toy Story 3. It's my favourite animated movie of all time. I just love every single thing about it. Just an incredible masterpiece of a movie, in my opinion. So, all the films I just talked about them were just incredible, in my opinion. Just Pixar at its peak, in my opinion. But however though, after Toy Story 3, I feel that Pixar really has, in my opinion, hit really hard times because since then, the franchise is since have been, in my opinion, hit or miss. For example, in 2011, we got what's probably, for me, the #1 worst out of course, the 2010s decade of Pixar, which is the absolute trash, which is Cars 2. And this is exactly why I say there's only one Cars film, because I saw Cars 2 and I thought it was absolutely terrible. Like, a film that doesn't make the main character from the first one the main character anymore and makes comic relief main character, and it fails miserably with unlikable characters, a bad story, a downgrade in animation, just boring from start to finish, just trash in my opinion. But in 2012 we got Brave, and I remember seeing bits of it when I was a kid, but I forget quite a lot about Brave, unfortunately. I've got it on Blu-ray, so I'll probably rewatch it one day, see what I think of it, see my opinion will change, we'll see. We also got Monster University in 2013, which was definitely, in my opinion, a decently good prequel, in my opinion, to Monsters, Inc. Monster University was definitely, in my opinion, a decently good prequel, in my opinion. Then, thankfully, in 2015, we did get one of the best ones in the franchise, which is Inside Out. I definitely really love Inside Out. Amazing movie, in my opinion. However, in the same year, we did unfortunately get A Good Dinosaur, which I'm personally not a fan of, mainly because the main character was just so incredibly annoying in that movie. Yeah, the film I'm not a fan of. In 2016, we also got Finding Dory, which was for me an unnecessary spin-off sequel, but was not needed to Finding Nemo. To me, Finding Nemo was best off as one movie alone. But in 2017, we also got Cars 3. It may have been slightly better than Cars 2 in my opinion, but still in my opinion wasn't that good, and definitely in my opinion not needed, because like I said, there can only be one Cars movie. Thankfully, though, in the same year, we did get Coco, which is also one of my favourites by Pixar. Another example of an emotional, beautiful movie right there. I absolutely love Coco. And an example of a 2017 film is actually good, because that year, for me, is a year from hell when it comes to films, because that year was full of bad movies in my opinion. But in 2018, we only got one release, which was Incredibles 2, which was a late sequel, 14 years late, but was thankfully good, in my opinion. So that was a big relief. Despite the very long gap between that and the first movie, it was, in my opinion, a good sequel. Now, sure, there were things about it that I didn't like, but it was still, in my opinion, a good sequel. Hopefully get a third movie. Unfortunately, though, in 2019, we got an unnecessary cash grab, which I am no longer a fan of, which is Toy Story 4. And this film was just not needed. There's only 3 Toy Story films, period. Toy Story 4 was unnecessary cash grab, which ruined several characters. It ruined the ending of Toy Story 3, made it all pointless. As far as I'm concerned, there's only 3 Toy Story films. In 2020, I had hoped that the franchise would be, of course, back to its roots of, its peak gloriness with these 2 films, because in March 2020, we got Onward, which was definitely, in my opinion, a great film. I really enjoyed Onward. Thought it was a really good movie. Had lots of heart in it, in my opinion. Then on Christmas Day 2020, we got Soul. Soul, for me, was an absolute masterpiece. A beautiful movie, in my opinion. And it was this film that gave me hope that Pixar would be going back to their roots of making beautiful or great films. And I had hope as well, because in the next year, 2021, we also got Luca, which was also, in my opinion, a really good movie. I really like Luca. And I hope I get a sequel to as well, just like, of course, Onward and Incredibles 2. Because I really like Luca. Unfortunately, though, 2022, for me, is the year Pixar died. Because in March 2022, we got a streaming service exclusive film, which was Turning Red. And I think this film literally turned off my interest in Pixar. Because I saw it on its release date in 2022, and in my opinion, it was complete and utter trash. With an unlikable main character who's literally rip-off of the Hulk, but as a red panda, with unlikable characters and a bad story, bad animation. The only character I liked in the film was James Horn's character, but that's it, the film sucked. Screwed Turning Red all the way. And it killed my interest in watching Pixar films. The only thing Pixar related I'm going to watch to retire on a good note on it is going to be the mini-series called Up Dog Days, which is like a continuation of Up, called Dog Days. I also want to watch it because Ed Asner reprised as well as Carl for it, so I'll watch it, of course, see what I think of it. Hopefully I'll really enjoy it. I've heard good things about it, so hopefully I'll enjoy it, and I can end my journey with Pixar on a good note. Then in the same year, in June, we got another film which nobody asked for, which was Lightyear. Now, I refused to watch this film, and I was out of this film when they announced that Tim Allen was not returning as Buzz. I was out, because in my opinion, there's nobody who can play the role of Buzz Lightyear better than Tim Allen. He is Buzz. So, I was just furious about this. Because as far as I'm concerned, nobody even asked for Chris Evans of all people to voice Buzz. That for me is a massive example of stunt casting, because he already, of course, had fame for playing Captain America, so of course we cast him as Buzz Lightyear. Of course we did. And I've seen clips of the film, guys, from what my friends have shown me, and from trailers that I've seen. Trailers sucked, in my opinion. And from what I saw, he was definitely, in my opinion, a miscast. Not to mention, the film is literally a boring rip-off of Interstellar as well, based on what I read about it. And the film also ruined Emperor Zurg, who I definitely love as a villain in the Buzz Lightyear franchise. Can't believe it's doing that to Zurg. And I don't even see the point of them doing a film about a Buzz Lightyear character, because we already have a Buzz Lightyear Star Command show. We already had that, so we didn't need a film about it. No. So, I did not see Lightyear, and I'm not going to bother with anything else Pixar have made. I've not seen Elemental, I'm not interested in that. I saw this trailer while I was watching Mario or movie, and I didn't like it. It didn't interest me at all. And I also have no interest in watching Inside Out 2, because as far as I'm concerned, there's only one Inside Out movie, and I don't even recall it setting no sequel at the end of it, so why do a sequel to it? Ridiculous. And they're making other films. There's a film called Elio releasing next year in 2025, not interested. And in 2026, they had the guts to do a 5th Toy Story film, which I am absolutely livid about. Because the 4th one was bad enough, but a 5th movie, oh, get the hell out. Like, the 4th movie ruined everything I love about a franchise, ruined Toy Story 3's beautiful, emotional ending. So, the chance of me watching this 5th movie is impossible. Like, I will not waste my time watching this 5th film. I'll stick to the amazing trilogy of Toy Story. That's always, to me, there's only 3 Toy Story films. I will not be wasting a single second of my time watching the films that have come out since Turning Red. As far as I'm concerned, Pixar was great from 1995 and up to of course 2010 with Toy Story 3. Then from 2010 to 2021, it was hit or miss in my opinion, because we got some cash grabs that were not needed, but some good films were, thankfully, at least. But I think 2022 was the year Pixar died, as far as I'm concerned. I will end my time with Pixar watching Dog Days, and that's it. No more Pixar from me. So, as far as I'm concerned, Pixar is definitely a big example of a company where, in my opinion, the old films are much better than new, as far as I'm concerned. So, this is me covering next episode of Old is Better Than You, what I was covering Pixar. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to vote in the comments what you guys think of Pixar. Do you think Old is Better Than You for Pixar? Or anything in the comments below. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe for movies to come in the future, and to infinity and beyond.